Hello students, today we are here to discuss about the next important topic of metals and non-metals, and that is chemical properties of metals and non-metals. In our previous video we had discussed about the physical properties of metals and non-metals, and here the chemical properties. So the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Clear? So we are going to compare the properties between metals and non-metals. So here the metals are there, and in this side the non-metals. First of all, we have to discuss the first property, that is number of valence electrons. Clear? Valence electrons means the electrons which are present in the outermost shell, because the outermost shell is called as valence shell. So the electrons which are present in outermost shell, they are called as valence electrons. In case of metals, the number of valence electrons generally 1, 2 or 3. We are talking generally here. So generally the number of valence electrons in metals is 1, 2 or 3. We are talking about some metals, that is sodium. It is having 2, 8, 1 electronic configuration, and 1 is the valence electron. If we are talking about magnesium, 2, 8 and 2 valence electrons are there. And if we are talking about aluminium, 2, 8 and 3 valence electrons are there. Clear? So in case of metals, the valence electrons may be 1, 2 or 3. In case of non-metals, the valence electrons generally, this is the first point of metals and here the non-metals. So in case of non-metals, the valence electrons are generally 5, 6 or 7. Suppose we are taking example of some non-metals, that is phosphorus, 2, 8 and 5, sulfur, 2, 8 and 6, chlorine, 2, 8, 7. It means these are the non-metals having 5, 6 or 7 electrons in the valence shell. Clear? So this is the first property, that is valence electrons, or the number of valence electrons which are present in the metals and non-metals. The second important property is electron donating or electron accepting capacity. Here the second property, the metals are very good electron donor. So metals are electron donor. Metals are donating electron. We know that the metals have very good capacity of losing electrons. Here the examples of metals. These metals have 1, 2 and 3 valence electrons, and these valence electrons can be removed easily. ठीक है, यहाँ पे सोडियम के लिए 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एक्सेप्ट करना इज अ डिफिकल्ट टास्क. इसके लिए एक इलेक्ट्रॉन को लूज करना इजी टास्क है. सो इट कैन लूज 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन. हियर मैग्नीशियम कैन आल्सो लूजेस 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन, and aluminium can also loses 1 electron. So these are the metals, or the metals are having a good capacity of losing electrons, while the non-metals are having the capacity of accepting electrons. So non-metals are electron, these are electron acceptors. metals are electron donors and non-metals are electron acceptors. These are the example. Phosphorus can accept 3 electrons, sulfur 2, and chlorine can accept 1 electron. Clear? So non-metals are the very good electron acceptors. Thirdly, we are talking about the formation of ions, or the type of ion which are formed by the metals and non-metals, because we are saying that metals donate electrons and non-metals accept electrons. After donating and accepting the electrons, they forms the ions. So here, in case of metals, cations are formed. It means metals are having a very good tendency of forming cations. ना यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं, सोडियम जब 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन को लूज करेगा तो इट फॉर्म्स सोडियम आयन, मैग्नीशियम Mg+2 आयन, एल्यूमिनियम Mg+3 आयन. क्लियर? जितने इलेक्ट्रॉन डोनेट करेंगे उतना चार्ज उस पे आएगा, एंड दैट इज द वैलेंसी ऑफ दैट आयन. सो दीज आर द cations because positively charged ions are called as cations. So metals are having the tendency of forming cations, while the non-metals are having the tendency of forming anion. So anions are formed. It means the negatively charged particles are formed by non-metals. Here phosphorus is accepting 3 electrons, that's why it forms 3 minus charge, sulfur -2 charge, and chlorine -1 charge. It means these are the valency of these elements. So phosphorus is having -3 charges. Anion formation is going to take place here. So I'm sorry. Here cations are formed in case of metals and anions are formed in case of non-metals. Nextly, we are going to discuss about the types of oxides. Which type of oxides are formed by metals and non-metals? So here metals forms basic oxides. The oxides of metals are basic in nature. That's why we are saying that the metals of first group are called as alkali metals. So oxides of metals are basic in nature. So it forms basic oxides, for example Na2O, K2O. Okay, these are the oxides of, this is sodium oxide, this is potassium oxides. So these are the oxides of metals, and these oxides are basic in nature. Some oxides are amphoteric in nature. Now, what are the amphoteric oxides? We will discuss them later. Next one is here the non-metallic oxides. So oxides of non-metals are acidic in nature. So these oxides are acidic in nature. For example, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides. Now these are acidic in nature. When metallic oxides reacts with water, then they forms hydroxides, and hydroxide is the base. That's why these are basic in nature. And when oxides of non-metals react with water, then they forms acid. Carbon dioxide reacts with the water and forms carbonic acid. Sulfur dioxide reacts with water and forms sulfuric acid. Nitrogen oxide forms nitric acid, and these are the acids. They are acidic in nature. Clear? Now the next property, we know that metals are forming cations. It means the metals are electropositive elements. So the next one is metals are electropositive. Metals are electropositive elements, and non-metals are electronegative elements. So non-metals are electronegative elements. Okay, so these are the electronegative elements. Clear? Metals are having a good capacity of donating electrons. That's why they are electropositive. We know that they form the positive ions like sodium ion, magnesium ion, and aluminium ion. So these are the positive ions, and non-metals are electronegative in nature, that they forms negative ions. So these are the negative ions. Clear? So this is all about some important chemical properties of metals and non-metals. We had discussed about physical and chemical, both the types of properties of metals and non-metals. Now in the next section we will discuss about the reaction of metals and non-metals with different chemicals. Thank you very much.